Hi, Mr. Lindstrom. Here is my 4.3 redo video. Question 1 is asking, what is a monopoly and its characteristics? A monopoly is a market where one single seller controls the entire supply of a product or service. It has no competition, so it can influence price, output, and market conditions. The first characteristic of a monopoly is its one firm dominates. That means one firm produces and sells the product, so the firm is the industry. The second characteristic is that it's a unique product and there's no close substitutes. Customers cannot switch to alternatives of this product. The next characteristic is there's high barriers to entry. This is because of huge startup costs, legal protections, control over essential resources, or massive economies of scale, making it too expensive or difficult for new firms to enter and compete, allowing the single firm to dominate this market without competition. The last characteristic is that monopolies are the price makers. They set the price, unlike firms in competitive markets. This is because since they are the only firm in the market, they just get to pick the price, which also connects back to why it's high barriers, because monopolies make the prices really high. The second question is asking to draw a monopoly earning profits. This is the same graph as the monopolistic competition. So you're just going to draw your demand in your MR, and then your MC, and then graph your quantity points and your price. So the ATC would go right here for it to be profits. So just like that, and then where it hits the quantity would be where your profit box is, which is right here. The dead weight loss would be right here, and the socially efficient point would be right here where MC hits demand. Question 3 asks, why isn't monopolies efficient? This is because they restrict output and charge higher prices than competitive market, which leads to dead weight loss. Question 4 asks where the inelastic and elastic portions are of the graph. So that is where MR hits the 0 for price. So you just go up, and then anything to the left is elastic and everything to the right is inelastic. It also asks to use a total revenue graph. So if we just bring the point where MR hits the quantity here, we would then draw a slope like this, showing where inelastic and elastic would go. Increasing the price would decrease the total revenue, and decreasing the price can increase total revenue, which shows us how it's inelastic or elastic. Question 5 asks, on your graph, indicate where the government will regulate the monopoly so it earns zero economic profits. This means that the price has to hit this point right here. So it would just be the bottom of the profit box, and it would go like that. This is where a monopoly graph would be breaking even without a price tag. Question 6 asks where the customer surplus would be located on the graph. If the price was here, this would be the customer surplus, and if the price was here, it would stretch down. Question 7 asks to put a one-time lump sum tax on the monopoly and show what will happen to the economic profits. So I redrew the profits monopoly graph. It's just more neater. And then if you add a one-time lump sum tax, it would cause the ATC to shift upwards. So if you shifted up to here, it would now be earning losses right here. This would be your loss box. The red would be where your losses are, or if the ATC only shifted up to here, you'd be breaking even. So your profits will decrease if you add a lump sum tax.